Thank you for tuning in for another episode of the Rice Crypto Show. I'm your host, Rice, and on today's episode, I'm going to be interviewing Jeremy Kauffman. He is the CEO and founder of LBRY, LBRY. LBRY is a content sharing and publishing platform that is decentralized and on a blockchain. Now, considering what happened recently with the YouTube crypto purge or ban that happened, and my channel was one of those affected channels, I've been looking for alternatives to upload my content to, especially decentralized platforms. And that's exactly what LBRY is. Now, if this is your first time ever checking out any of my content, I do encourage you to explore my channel. If you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Make sure you smash that like button, hit the notification bell, and we're going to go ahead and get right into today's interview. All right, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, today's guest on the Rice Crypto Show is Jeremy Kauffman. He is the CEO and founder of LBRY, LBRY, if you can see this on your screen. Jeremy, man, I appreciate you taking the time to come on the show. How you doing today?
I am doing great, and I'm the reasons I'm here aren't happy, but I'm happy to be here with you. Yeah,
understandable. Now, ironically, before the crypto YouTube purge, I had actually reached out to do an interview, but I had so much of a content backup that it was kind of on my list. But because of what happened around Christmas time with the crypto YouTube purge, I made it a priority to get in touch with you and get this interview as soon as possible. So if people don't know what I'm talking about, I woke up personally on Christmas Eve with an email from YouTube saying they were giving me a warning and removed 3 of my videos for bogus reasons. I had heard the day before that, I'm trying to remember his name, Chris Dunn, he had some content removed, and that was the first that I had heard about it. And then a bunch of other people had content removed and were given warnings or strikes on Christmas Eve. And Box Mining, since he's in China and he's a little bit ahead of us on time, had received a second strike, which would have been the 25th for him. And I had a feeling when I was going to bed Christmas Eve that I was going to wake up with the strike, and lo and behold, I did. I woke up Christmas morning with another video removed and a strike saying I couldn't produce videos for 7 days or post anything. Now, they removed that apparently on the 26th, but I actually wasn't able to post any videos. Even though my strike was removed, I still wasn't eligible to put anything out till sometime January 1st in the evening, and I was getting over being sick. So here we are. LBRY is a content sharing and publishing platform that is decentralized and on the blockchain. And I was looking for alternates to be able to back up my content and put them on better platforms. And there's some crappy platforms out there. I'm not going to mention names. So with me today, like I said, is Jeremy. Jeremy, I appreciate the first thing I like to ask everybody is, can you give a little bit of a background about who you are and how you got involved into cryptocurrency? And then we'll talk a little bit about LBRY.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, my full name is Jeremy Kauffman. Educationally, I studied computer science and physics, but I've kind of been an entrepreneurial kind of type of person my whole life. I founded a by comparison, boring software company before this one, although I had a lot of fun doing it. But it was a software as a service company, so I learned about how do you make usable software, how do you sell it, how do you get customers, but very, very traditional stuff in the startup world. And I learned about blockchain, more than 5 years ago, I guess six-ish years ago, and started thinking about it. With a computer science background, I thought about it as this really new type of database and what can we do with it. And I started thinking about the applications to distributing content look, the name was very aspirational. We called it LBRY. The idea of using a blockchain to catalog the world's information, what exists, whether that be books or films or all kinds of things. The positioning as a YouTube, as get off of YouTube and get onto LBRY came a little bit later in the company's conception.
No, I totally, and I like the idea of a decentralized platform, but yeah, with everything that's going on with the censorship and shadow banning platforms like yours are becoming more important.
Yeah.
So now, when did you guys start LBRY?
So the LBRY blockchain, the first block was mined in June of 2016 or the end of May of 2016. So it's been quite a while. This was a blockchain project sort of more in the original school. So, you know, no ICO, kind of like it's kind of like a small group of hackers who started working on something. Like when I say we mined the first block, you know, the data network was, you know, barely there. There was no user interface, right? Command line only, like, you know, very, very bare bones sort of beginning thing. And then over time, you know, we came up with the UI. We did get some VC funding. We were able to make some money off of the token. It's a long story to tell all the details of where we are today, but we've grown quite a bit. It's been a really exciting journey.
So, what I was curious about is now, what blockchain did you guys use to build off of? What code did you use?
So it is a fork of Bitcoin originally. The blockchain has been modified. So and by the way, if you're the kind of person who really wants to dig into the tech, we have it all very thoroughly documented. We have a full specification, very detailed at LBRY.tech, LBRY.tech, and as well as /spec is the best resource. But anyway. Yeah, I don't know how technical of an explanation I should give. There's a whole, if this makes sense or not, the
Bitcoin thing and just adding additional changes was, that's kind of just kind of basic. And I'll have links down below. So if people do want to explore this in a more technical aspect, there is a time and a place to get technical.
Sure, we don't. It's not.
I don't think it really. I just was curious.
All of it perfectly, right? I am not the top blockchain engineer at this company. Yeah. So
one of the things I like that you guys are talking about is content freedom and offering a decentralized content sharing platform on a blockchain. Now, what do you feel like differentiates LBRY from some of the other platforms out there, like DTube, DLive, BitTubers, BitChute, I think would be some of the ones to name. What do you think differentiates LBRY?
Yeah, so one of the biggest ones, although I don't know the specifics of every company that you named, but I think it's common to at least a couple of those, is that the way that you can't, in my opinion, access them in a truly decentralized way. So I encourage everyone to, if you're just new to LBRY, go to LBRY.tv and check it out. But when you're there, you are not on a decentralized platform, right? I mean, in a certain sense you are, because the web itself is decentralized, but like BitChute, when you're accessing something over bitchute.com, you are connecting directly to a BitChute server. BitChute.com is a centralized, the control of BitChute.com is very clearly administered. That is not a decentralized network in and of itself. So you want to look, if you're looking for something that's truly decentralized, you need to make sure that the entire end-to-end user experience is decentralized. Right? We already had, so BitChute would say, okay, well, we use BitTorrent. Well, like BitTorrent, yes, BitTorrent is decentralized. The data is decentralized. Metadata, content discovery, identities, channels, this kind of stuff, that's not decentralized in the BitTorrent network. All BitTorrent can do is the data. Right? And so really, a lot of what LBRY has been innovating is more on the metadata side of things, creating a decentralized way of having a channel, assigned identity, being able to prove that you publish things, being able to store and access and search metadata in a decentralized way. This is more where we've been innovating, and a lot of these platforms don't actually give you a decentralized way of doing that. If you can only do it through one specific website, that's not decentralized, right? So we have LBRY.tv, that's Coinbase, that's the centralized way of doing things. You can download a full peer-to-peer client and be living in totally decentralized land. And so you want to make sure that if you're looking for a totally decentralized solution, that they offer both things, right? That doesn't mean you don't use the web one. I use Coinbase. I also have a full Bitcoin daemon if I want to run it, and, and that provides safety to me that if you just have a YouTube account, you don't have that.
Okay. Very cool. Now, one of the things that attracted me when all this was going on to LBRY was the person who was running your Twitter account.
Yeah.
One of the complaints that I had with DTube was, and I just started doing this with maybe the last 10 videos from YouTube, was because it was taking a long time to upload the videos. So I used their YouTube link. The easy way to do it, copy paste your link and put it in. Now, when I did that, when the videos that were taken off of YouTube were removed, they were also removed from DTube.
Yeah.
And I said, well, you know, what's the point of me moving to like LBRY if the same thing's going to happen? And somebody assured me that no, once everything's migrated over, that it's stored permanently. So no matter what happens to YouTube, if they remove your content, your videos are still going to be on LBRY. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we have a YouTube partnership program, LBRY.com/YouTube. Any YouTuber can, it's basically one click enroll you in through it. And then once that happens, so we authorize that you own the account, and then we, on your behalf, download those videos and publish them directly to the LBRY network. So it's not, when someone accesses that video on LBRY, it's not just like an embed of the YouTube video, right? Which is kind of a, so I mean, this is what I'm talking about, you know, and it's tough, Rice, because like, it's hard even for me. I'm a smart guy digging into the tech of some of this stuff and trying to validate, well, this blockchain company is making this kind of claim. Can they actually do that or not? You know, this is hard stuff, and I'm no dummy. And so everyone wants to say they have these decentralized solutions, but you should definitely keep your skeptical hat on. Is this really decentralized? How can it actually, you know, how could this actually be attacked? What's actually keeping it up? You know, we're thinking that way all of the time. Sometimes I think these other places, they just want to say they're this way so they can, you know, sell themselves this way. I don't, look, a lot of these guys are free speech supporters. I don't want to like attack them too hard. I think their heart is in the right place and all these things, but I question if the tech is really there.
No, and I agree. And I mean, this isn't necessarily to talk negatively. It was just, you know, okay. So one of the things that gave me a lot of assurance about this platform was Omar Bam from Crypto's News. He's been using LBRY for quite some time. He's been pushing LBRY for quite some time. I know you guys don't pay him, so that says a lot. And I know he doesn't take money. So, I mean, when he pushes a platform, he believes in it. And I just kind of dismissed it. Now, once all this happened and I found out about the fact that once my content is transferred over into partnership with YouTube, that I will not lose my videos if YouTube removes them. Based off my research, and I'm not trying to diss any of the other platforms, I am utilizing them. But I really do like what LBRY is doing. And I'm going to kind of make this my go-to, and I'm going to actually produce more extra content on this platform so I can encourage people who are watching stuff like this on YouTube to check it out on LBRY, so that just in case this just happens to never be on YouTube ever again, you know where you can find my content and some of your other favorite content creators, because I know a lot of people are migrating over. I don't know who's making what site, their main site, but it's really hard to do it with multiple sites. But so no matter what, LBRY is going to be my backup. As of now, you guys, to me, have got the best platform. I do like the decentralization. I like the team that I see behind it, the research that I've done. And that was the reason why I wanted to talk with you directly, was to get a little bit more of a kind of flesh out everything that I've looked at and get a better feel for everything, because I'm really impressed.
Yeah, thank you. That means a lot. You know, I think we've been working hard for a long time, and to some extent, like, you know, it's tough because we're so excited as we, you know, whenever we get this surge of interest, but at the same time, it's like a lot of times it's happening because like something bad happened otherwise. You know, we got another surge of interest in the past with like a bunch of these college lectures we're threatened to get deleted off the internet. And it's like, man, this, you know, this situation sucks. And we're glad that we can like help, right? We can show that this is why the value of this, but also, you know, it sucks. This stuff sucks at the same time that it's happening in the first.
No, I totally feel you. But what I hope will come out of this is that, I mean, if you think about the content creators that this happened to, it wasn't a very large percentage based off the people that are actually on YouTube. It really was just like a speck. So once we can get the content creators to be pushing people to these platforms, people will be coming to these platforms, not because they feel like they have to, but because the content creators are saying this is where you need to come. And I think that that's what you're going to get out of this. I think a lot of good things are going to come out of the tragedy that are bringing content creators to the platform.
Yeah, and we shouldn't hit like, and also, you know, I don't think the decision of whether or not to get off some of these other sites or services should hinge on like one specific action, right? I think it's about like, do you want tech that is like end to end yours or not, or do you want to be trusting these like people in the middle. Sometimes I think, and again, I know part of my job is to bash these companies, but like, I can't help having at least like a little bit of sympathy for them. Part of it is that, when you have a centralized solution, it's one size fits all. You can only have one thing, right? So it's like, and sometimes the business pressure that you face, what do you do if you face a mob that's like demanding something that you think is truly wrong, but it would cost you a lot of money to stand up to your, principles. Like, I'd like to think I'd stand up for my principles. I really do. But with LBRY, the beauty is I don't even have to care, right? Like, because we can't do it. So
Right.
like, if someone comes up and says delete it, like, I don't have to have the moral confliction of like, wow, I'm going to lose a lot of money if I keep this up. It's like, all right, well, sorry, like, we don't have the key. Go ask them for the keys and ask them to take it off.
Yeah, because I mean, I would be the only person that can remove that content. Is that correct?
Yeah. So I mean, people. So yeah, I do want to be specific about, because I want to be technically correct. So the people have to be willing to host the content, right? So in the case of LBRY TV, for example, we're hosting that content. So if there's something that's illegal, we're going to stop hosting that. If there aren't people in the peer-to-peer network that are willing to host it, essentially against the law, it won't be available. So if there's content that people essentially are not willing to host, which in terms of illegal content, I encourage people not to host it. Keep your software configured in a legal fashion and these kinds of things. So LBRY does not guarantee, does not promise, because no one can, right, that something will be available for all time, or you can't make that kind of promise. That's not something that can be actually made. So the blockchain, the metadata is very resilient. We can't remove anything from it. Only the publisher can remove it. And then in terms of the data, as long as people in the peer-to-peer network are willing to host it, it would remain available.
Okay, very cool. And I've downloaded the application on my laptop, and I've downloaded it for my mobile phone, and I've checked it out on the web. So
you've done all three.
Yeah.
We should have like a reward or something for people who have access to all three ways, because that's how was that? I'm not to turn the interview too much, because that we've been working a ton on getting it smooth to like kind of move across them. Was that okay from your
yeah, like so far, like at first when I was signing in on my Brave browser, it was making me do my email and then go for my email to a link, come into it.
Yeah.
But now for some reason it's storing my information, which is cool. So I'm able to go directly to it, because when I was setting up for the interview, and if I wanted to look at anything regarding the website or regarding the platform, having the actual application running in the background, I didn't want to affect any of the audio or video from the. So I figured if I used the web version, it wouldn't eat up as much of my computer CPU space, while I'm recording. So it's been very easy to use, and that's another reason why I want to use this platform, like as an extra, putting out extra content and encouraging people to check out this platform specifically, because not only did decentralization, storing on a blockchain, but I mean, it really is easy to use. And these other platforms are very complicated. DTube, you got to use the Steam It sign up, I believe. They might have changed that not too long ago. It's just been a lot of complication. And, this is like, I was thinking it was going to take me forever to get everything set up, but really it was about maybe a total of like 36 hours to get from beginning to end to having all my content uploaded onto LBRY. So
yeah. And most of that was probably just waiting for an email from us to tell you it was all done, right?
Yeah, totally.
Just to be clear, I just want to be clear, Rice was not sitting at his computer, toiling away for just chugging caffeine or whatever. Yeah.
Right. No, but it was great, man. I thought that was extremely fast, professional, and courteous. And, I was super impressed. So what do we have to look forward to in the future for 2020 with LBRY?
A lot. Yeah, a lot. So one thing is I do, this is a tough one to bite off, but I think we need to, I want to continue to figure out how we can facilitate, whether it's from token to token or token to traditional currencies, that kind of thing. I think it's a big part of what end-to-end what people want. And so I want to see how we can do more there. Potentially along with that, things like recurring payments, like Patreon style, like supporting of creators, where you can kind of like be that kind of thing. I'm hoping, it's reasonably confident, we'll do something on iOS finally. Continuing to just make stuff better. I think that's like, it's not sexy, but it's super important. Like, It can never be fast enough. It can never be easy enough to use. And we're like always looking at these things, and that's how you make usable software. So it means a lot to me. It's actually really like you say, hey, I found your software easy to use. Like that might be the biggest compliment you can give me because it's like what we're working the hardest at.
Right.
And so that doesn't stop. There are some new stuff. Commenting is not decentralized right now. As I said, we're honest. It's centralized. It's going to one of our servers. We're going to do a truly decentralized version eventually, but we started with a centralized one. Reposts are a cool feature that's going to be coming soon. So this will be like basically kind of like retweets or reposts from Tumblr. So you'll be able to like embed other people's stuff in your feeds. We're trying to go towards a model that's definitely a little bit more emphasized on like following specific channels and specific creators. And so that will also help because now if you've shown your trust in this person, it's not just stuff that they create. It can be stuff that they also endorse that other people created. And using that as a model of discovery. So I think that I'm excited about a lot of that stuff.
That's very cool, man. That's very cool. I really looking forward to everything, and I appreciate what you guys have built. Before we wrap things up, was there anything else you wanted to talk about?
No, I guess I'll just plug, one more time, if you're listening to this, go to LBRY.tv, create an account, smash that follow button for Rice Crypto over there. You'll get an email notification when you post a new video. You'll get a mobile notification when you post a new video if you're following and you've got that installed. And it's free stuff. You get a couple bucks of free cryptocurrency just for doing basic stuff like watching videos. So it's like why not? So come on over, hang out with us. You can also come into our chat.lbry.com. And there's a bunch of people who care about freedom of information, cryptocurrency, decentralized video, all this really cool stuff. And so come and hang out with all of us. Yeah.
Awesome. And I'll have links down below for everything we're talking about so people can check it out. So if you can hold on for me one moment. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first time ever checking out any of my content, I do encourage you to explore my channel. And if you like what I'm doing, make sure you subscribe to my channel. If it's on LBRY, make sure you follow. Make sure you do that like, share, and comment. That definitely helps out in the algorithms. And again, make sure you do all that. And I do appreciate. As always, I do encourage you to be the change by practicing change. And I love you all. Thank you for watching all the way through to the very end. Now, if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? And be sure to hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with my current content as it comes out. I do got to give a shout out to this month's Rice Crypto Show sponsors who make it possible for me to create content. Monarch, Presearch, and BlockFinX, which is a new exchange that's going to be launching soon. I'm going to have links down below so you can check out my sponsors. And again, much love.